Welcome to the Wrestling Replayers. Kato here with your Monday Night Raw Replay of the Week. Now, we had a lot to really get into, a lot to discuss. We had, the fallout from WrestleMania Night 1 and 2 to really get into. So, without further ado, let's break Monday Night Raw down in under 10 minutes, alright? First and foremost, everyone who was mad at the Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, I told you, there will be a rematch for Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Now, it came in the form of Drew McIntyre having to win a triple threat match between Randy Orton and Braun Strowman, which I thought was pretty cool because we got to see Randy thrust back into that world title picture as well as Braun Strowman. With that said, as we know, Randy Orton managed to beat The Fiend. We still did not get any type of answer going forward to what's going to happen with The Fiend and Alexa Bliss and the Bray Wyatt and all of that. Alexa Bliss pretty much came out and said that, she found the power within herself. He unlocked this power within her, and she didn't really need The Fiend anymore, essentially. She didn't need him anymore. Where do we go from here? If The Fiend is, on his own by himself, Alexa Bliss is on her own by himself, what is Alexa Bliss character supposed to do? Just wreak havoc in the locker room? How long is that going to last? Really, it's WWE, all right? You had a great thing going. You had a pallbearer to The Undertaker. You had the Alexa Bliss to The Fiend. That's what he needed. He had his sister Abigail, I guess you could say. He had exactly what he needed. That person, that thing that gave him power, that made him able to withstand a lot of punishment and, go out there and actually win matches, dominate matches, not just win matches, but dominate matches. Now, I don't know where we're going to go from here for the fact that, these two are pretty much not on the same page anymore. So it's going to be interesting watching how WWE tried to manage to, put together Alexa Bliss and The Fiend. I know it can't be any type of rivalry or any type of match unless they plan on building out another character to go along with Alexa Bliss for her to control, to pretty much take out The Fiend, which would be pointless, right? The Fiend was a great character at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Let Bray Wyatt go back to the Wyatt family and do his own thing again, because you had something great and you pretty much ruined it. You sabotaged it yourself. Now, speaking of that world title picture, Bobby Lashley took on Matt Riddle, the former United States champion, and of course he won. Bobby Lashley managed to defeat Matt Riddle, but what it does is solidify the fact that United States title, those guys that hold that title or compete for that title, also can compete with the guys who holds the Raw World Championship as well. And I think that was a great idea that they, managed to put Riddle and Bobby Lashley together again. We know they fought before, but put them together again while Bobby is the world champion. Now, the main thing, Bobby is a world champion. MVP said to have two more allies under his belt, former members of the Retribution crew or stable, whatever they were, because we've seen T-Bar and Mase actually come in and attack Drew McIntyre after the match. Now, granted, MVP did stand at the top and watch the attack happen, but they didn't really, kind of show that they was with MVP or there's going to be another Hurt Business type situation, right? So with that said, the Hurt Business is no more, but you still got Benjamin and Alexander teaming up to try to pretty much find their way, get back to where they're supposed to be. Now, we have to remember that Shelton Benjamin has been a champion multiple times in single and tag team action. So it looked like he's pretty much going to take Cedric under his wing, kind of like MVP did to both of those guys, and try to put themselves back into that tag team division, get them back up to the top of the ranking system and try to gain those tag team titles back. But we have seen one of the top tag teams return in the Viking Raiders, coming out there and pretty much defeating open challenge laid out by Alexander and Benjamin. We also seen the tag team action, the New Day, get back on their winning ways when they defeated Elias and Jackson Riker. Could possibly lead to a number of tag team matches between maybe Benjamin and Alexander again. They had some great matches that they put together when New Day was the tag team champions, or possibly a matchup with the Viking Raiders. We also seen The Miz and Morrison defeat Damian Priest in a handicap match with the help of Maurice. Now, I have to say this, Damian Priest looked good. He looked sharp. He looked strong. He looks like everything you want and someone who's going to be a potential champion on that Raw roster, because it took 3 people to defeat Damian Priest. Damian Priest actually had the match well in control and looked like he was on the way to actually closing the match out before Maurice jumped on the apron and helped out The Miz and get a roll-up victory over Damian Priest. Moving on with the tag teams, we've seen the champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeat Mandy Rose and Dana Brooks, which was a kind of a weird situation for the fact that the match came about because Mandy Rose was being made fun of by Nia Jax for the slip and fall at WrestleMania. All right, it was hilarious. It was all over the place, right? So this leads to a tag team match. Now during the match, Nia Jax slips and falls numerous times, and I guess this last one was just the funniest of all. But Mandy and Dana actually retreated during the match, taking like a count out loss to the champions. I don't understand how this works. You beat the champions to get a title shot. The champions beating the same tag teams week in and week out. You're beating Lana and Naomi, then you're beating up Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, then Lana and Naomi, like just going ping ponging back and forth. It just shows how weak that women's division is, and that maybe they need to let the women start to jump brands. At least if they're a tag team, let them start to jump brands permanently to at least strengthen up that tag team division for the women. Speaking of that women's division, that's the bright spot on Monday Night Raw. It really picked up. We've seen Charlotte Flair come through and cut a crazy promo. The Charlotte Flair that we wanted to see. That's a Charlotte Flair that Ric Flair could have came and managed if you wanted to bring Ric Flair back into the fold. That's the Charlotte Flair that you could have had team up Lacey Evans and let Ric Flair manage both of these two women to a tag team title run, a long tag team title run, like a historic tag team title run. That's the type of Charlotte Flairs that we're used to, and that's Charlotte Flair at her best to me. So she cuts a promo and pretty much put everyone on notice, or every woman in the locker room on notice, that she's back in town, right? Later on, we have a rematch between Asuka and Rhea Ripley for the women's championship. It was a pretty good match. It was a pretty good match up until the no contest, where Charlotte Flair interfered and pretty much made herself known to both women. I don't care if you're the champion or the number contender. I'm back. This title's mine, and I'm going for my 14th title reign. So that's the one bright spot that I got on Monday Night Raw. I figured Drew McIntyre would win, and he would find his way back into that world title picture. That match between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, it was a pretty good match, to be honest. But that feud alone is going to build. It's going to be like a trilogy. It's going to be like Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre was, right? The Fiend and Alexa Bliss, we really got no answers, and I don't like the direction that they have already started going anyway. So that's kind of been like a downer for me on Monday Night Raw. The tag team division is fine, but it's the same thing we're seeing week in and week out with the women. And with the men, I still don't believe there's enough tag teams in the men division to really be good. I am excited that we have new tag team champions. I really want to just see a little bit more almost in the ring and see what he can do as he develop, his talent, right? That was pretty much everything that happened on Monday Night Raw. I believe we kept it in the 10-minute frame. Let me know what you guys think of Monday Night Raw. I thought it was not enough storytelling. I didn't get enough questions answered as far as I'm concerned, but I did like the emergence of Charlotte Flair and that old school directions that she's going in. But let me know what you guys think. What matches are you excited to see or wish to see happen coming up? Make sure you drop a comment down below or hit me in the DM. I'll be sure to answer all those DMs back, answer all your comments back. Hit that like and subscribe before you leave out of here. I'm Kato. I'm signing out. Peace.